Oh, I'm back. So I want to talk about USA winning the gold medal. I just watched the gold medal game earlier. So they actually finally got it done. Like I said, they better had got it done after losing to Canada last year. Yeah, I think it was last year or the year before, whenever. So they formed their Expendables and they ended up getting it done. So shout out to them. It was a great game. It was a close game, but they ended up pulling it off because of, like I said, Steph Curry. I said if they win, it was going to be because of Curry. I already knew he the difference maker, he the X factor. Even Kevin Durant, I know to a certain degree, because like I said, Kevin Durant is a front runner. So we know that if KD is on the superstar team or on the all-star team and they got the lead, that's when KD is at his best to where he don't have to worry about the pressure. So I knew that KD was going to excel. Then I knew that Steph Curry was going to end up being the best player because you can't teach his shooting. The shooting is just it's just too automatic. It's just too good. It's just nothing you can do about it. Mixed with his handles and everything else. Like I said, like Steph is just a cheat code. He just a different type of player. Like we never seen before. One of the best offensive players of all time. We know he the best shooter of all time. So do I see my top 10 list? I already had him in the top 10, I think at number 9. And he further solidifying that. And when he retired, I think we're gonna be able to hands down say that he's a top 10 player. Because he still got a couple more years left. But like some people were saying, he might need to get off the Golden State because it's not look the roster not looking good, and I don't like Steve Kerr. I started to make another video about Steve Kerr because the way he was been managing the minutes and everything, I'm just not a Steve Kerr fan. I'm sorry. I just think that he just privileged. He was great. He was privileged enough to inherit Mark Jackson team. He was privileged enough to play with Michael Jordan. Like, like enough like I'm not saying he's not a great coach because he did help that Golden State team and turn them up a notch. I'm not saying like he's just terrible, but he gets way too much credit, and I don't like the decisions that he makes, especially with Draymond. I felt like he always kissed Draymond Green ass too much. He basically let and chose because I know he's not the GM, but we know that Curry is basically like the co-GM. He got to say in every move that's made. Like you got to know that. So he basically let them choose Draymond over Clay. Just a lot of stuff. He let Draymond get away with running KD off and messing up the relationship with Jordan Poole. He chose Draymond over Jordan Poole. So I just don't like the moves that the Warriors make, mainly with Draymond, keeping Draymond, because that's another subject for another day. But anyway, yes, like so Steph is that dude. I learned that from what was the 2022 finals, I think it was. Whatever finals where he beat the Celtics, that whole playoff run I watched, and Curry just amazing. Like it's not just his shot, it's his handles too. His basketball IQ. He just an all around amazing great player. Ain't nothing you can really do about it. And then with his shot, the way he looked, like LeBron looked great for his age and like he could still play. And I am amazed by how well LeBron can still play. But Steph looked like the same Steph from 30. And with his shot and the way that he played, because he don't rely on athleticism, he can really play into his 40s. He might can even play longer than LeBron can. Actually, like that's how I feel because he don't because his shot, just like with Ray Allen, people knew that Ray Allen could have played a couple years after. Like even when Steph Curry gets old or he loses whatever his speed or whatever, he can always be the best spot up shooter of all time. So all he has to do is catch and shoot. So it's like Steph can really play into his 40s how long he wants to, for real. And that's dangerous for real. That's why I say that Steph is gonna hands down finish as the top 10 player of all time. And he's one of my favorite players to watch. Like I said before, him, Kyrie, Michael Jordan, Kobe, it's the Mount Rushmore players I just love to watch, and Jamal Crawford. Like, they're just amazing to watch, spectacular, especially as somebody who plays basketball his whole life. Like y'all, like people just don't understand how hard it is to be as good as Steph Curry is. But But yeah, so what I thought was gonna happen, Curry came through the last two games. LeBron did his thing. I'm not gonna hate. LeBron has looked amazing, especially for his age. He put in work. KD, like I said, he on the team. So when he the third option and he able to front run, he gonna of course dominate. Everybody played their part for the most part and got it done. France was good. Wemby showed out. Like everybody think Wemby gonna be next. Like I said, I'm not as high on him as a lot of other people because I just seen that he in the finals before he had came to the NBA, he got swept. He just lost the gold medal game. The Spurs last year had a bad record. And it's not all his fault, of course, because he's playing well. But I'm just saying is that I noticed when players are winners and losers, like in their life, like Michael Jordan, like winning in college, winning in Team USA, then winning in the finals. The same, like players who just throughout their career, Magic Johnson winning in college, then going to the NBA and winning. Like I noticed players who like are winners, throughout their life, who because that will ultimately matter. Because there's a lot of players that's gonna be great. Of course, he gonna make all-star teams. He might probably win the MVP, defensive player of the year, but is he gonna win a championship? That's what it's gonna really come down to in the end. So that's the type of stuff that I look at. But he a matchup problem. Like, he always the tallest guy on the court. So whenever you the tallest person or biggest person, you gonna always have the advantage. So Wemby always gonna have the advantage every time he on the court. So he always gonna play good. The same with Porzingis. Like Porzingis is a prime example of that. Like, and he showed that in the finals. Like he a matchup nightmare. So just like Yao Ming was. So it's like when you got that height and size, the same reason why Joel Embiid is like like the saying go, you can't teach 7 feet, and Wemby is over 7 feet. So he always gonna be great and do his thing. But I was more impressed from the other French players. Everybody kept calling dude with the afro, Ben Wallace, the French Ben Wallace, and the other dude who had the dreadlocks was also balling. So they came to play. I give them a lot of credit. They played hard for sure. We know Serbia was gonna play hard. Joker is still that dude. I still think he the best player in the NBA right now. He because they won, what is it, the bronze, and he had a triple double. So and then they almost beat